The light's gonna come on, don't you worry. Let's go. Let's head to school. All right, bud. Let's get on out of here. I know. All right, guys, so our real day in the life has officially started. We're gonna get this guy to school, right, Austin? Yeah, so we're going to school, and then we are headed to the studio, and we got a lot of work to get done, right, bud?
Yeah.
All right, let's make this a smooth trip, huh? Pound it. Bam. Let's go.
Now that we've dropped off the little guy, it's time to spend a real day in the life with the Pixel 7 Pro. And today we're going to be testing out everything from performance, battery life, cameras, all the things you'll want to know. Let's see how it works out in the real world. All right, y'all, so kids dropped off, back in the studio, of course. Got the Pixel 7 Pro right here, and we do have the case on. Now, this is a slightly different design, right? So I have to go without the case. See, last time I got away with it in the iPhone video because it's the same body. This one's very similar. We got a few changes though when it comes to the camera bump. You guys can see it's no longer that full glass panel. We've got this aluminum frame all around it. Honestly, that's pretty much all that's different here, but it's different. So I'm just gonna rock it without it. I'm not even too mad at it, honestly, because I find it a little bit easier to hold in the hand than when I have the case on. With the case, there's not a lot of friction here with this case made by Google. You see that? Look at that thing, it's just sliding. More importantly, we have to move on to something that is very important for this video. Well, not for this video, but for us in general. And we got the Pixel Watch. That means I gotta get rid of this guy. I wanted to do an unboxing video of this, so I hadn't worn it just yet. So we're putting the Apple Watch away, as well as the case. We're gonna unbox this on camera, do a video about it, and that's what I'm gonna be rocking today. All right, let's do this. Now, taking a physical look at the 7 Pro, it looks and feels very much like last year's model, with the rounded off sides of the 6.7-inch display. Now, I've personally fallen out of love with the screens with these kinds of edges, but a lot of you guys mentioned that you still love it in last year's Pixel video, so for you guys, you'll feel right at home here. Now, what is different here is the frame. It's more uniform through the entire body of the phone compared to last year where it was broken up a bit by the camera bump and the antennas on the top. Something I did notice is that the button placement on the right side is lower than last year's model, so your muscle memory might throw things off a bit at first, but you get used to it. I definitely think they're more accessible this time around, and I like the placement overall, even with having to get used to it at first. Now, real quick, let's talk about something else with rounded edges, and that's that Pixel Watch.
All right, guys, so we just wrapped up the unboxing. So we've got our Pixel Watch over here. We've got our 7 Pro. We even got our Pixel Buds over here. So we've got the ecosystem. We're ready to do this, we're ready to go all in. Yeah, that Google life, so simple. I love that about Google. Everything is just like, just like a nice, clean aesthetic, very simple looking, nothing crazy. I like it. You know what it kind of reminds me of? You know SpongeBob? How SpongeBob is normally square and then there's like that round SpongeBob where he's like even more tame and just minimal.
Hi, how are you?
That's the Pixel vibe right there, I feel like.
I set the screen on time like 30 minutes.
Oh, Jared, you trying to kill the battery, man. Oh, we're still at 89%. We're doing all right. Oh, you know what? Might as well see what the. Hold on, let me change this background. What background you put on here, Jay?
Some teal background.
A teal. I respect it.
But it's like
it's pretty ugly though. On your phone, download and open Pixel Watch.
Oh, you have to download?
I guess that makes sense. If you don't want to buy it, they don't just throw the app on here, so it's not a bloatware. The bands are it's a very interesting system. We'll talk about that in a separate video. All right, welcome to your new Pixel Watch.
And while I might not be crazy about smartphones with curved screens, that's not to say I don't like the quality of the display on the Pixel 7 Pro. It's a good looking screen for watching content and everyday activities, and has some pretty good brightness, so when using the phone outdoors in direct sunlight, I didn't find myself struggling to see my content at all. It is definitely brighter than last year's 6 Pro, which is a huge plus. And one thing I'm happy about with this new screen is the fingerprint scanner. It's like a second faster than last year's model, which seemed to be a pain point for some folks, so I'm happy to say this time around it is quicker thanks to that new Tensor chip. Not to mention, we finally get face unlock, which is my personal favorite, so getting into the device is much easier this time around. And it works pretty quickly for me, so I've got no complaints here. You even get this cool animation around the front-facing camera when unlocking the screen with your face, so I think that's a nice touch as well.
All right, guys, so I got a confession to make. Every time I got, a new Android phone, I don't do as much customization to it as I used to way back in the day. I remember back in the day, I had to change up everything. I needed widgets all over the place. I wanted to look a special way. These days, I'm like, listen, just pass me the phone, let me use it. I'm just get right into my apps. I don't really care about the customization aspect. But that's huge for Android, that's a really big part of it. And it's got like cool features where you can jump into the wallpaper settings. It'll automatically detect the colors in the wallpaper. You'll notice we got different color palettes right here. So you guys can see the icon, like the menu colors have changed a bit if I went with this green. So yeah, that's been a nice touch. It's not brand new or anything, but for somebody who might be jumping ship to the Pixel or something, you got those nice little customization options. But I'm gonna take it a step further. Gonna find me some widgets. All right, guys, so I spent like 10 minutes looking up, just trying to customize my home screen. And I've come to this conclusion. I don't want anything on my home screen. I want it to look clean because anything I try to throw on here just seems a bit redundant. This side I don't have my productivity stuff with like emails and notes, battery life. I feel like that's like a nice page. I could okay, let me get into something. And I do like this Gmail widget app. It gives you access to all your emails. You can just jump right in, boom. I think that's pretty cool. All right, guys, so I'm about to try a feature that Google talked about in their presentation of the 7 Pro. It's called Direct My Call, where if you call like a toll-free number, those annoying menus that you gotta sit through and listen and then hit 1, 2, whatever the option is. But now with Direct My Call, you should be able to see all those menu options before they even speak them, and you'll basically be able to just select all your inputs, and then it should take you right to where you wanna whoever you want to speak to. That sounds great. I unfortunately need to make a call to the DMV in New York. Worst thing in the world. So we're gonna give that a shot right now. Let's see if this can save me some time. DMV. All right, so I'm guessing it's not working. How do I trigger it? Okay guys, future Judd here. So yesterday we were trying to figure out how to get the Direct My Call thing to work. Didn't figure it out yesterday, but today we ended up noticing that it's actually in the settings of the phone app. You go in here and this is where you can turn on Direct My Call and then those like call screening features. So, so this is where you have access to that if you want to have that feature available to you. Now yesterday I wasn't able to show you guys what that looks like. So real quick, I'll show you guys now. You know what? We'll call Home Depot. It even tells you how long your wait time is going to be, which is kind of wild. You can turn on your speakers at the bottom.
If you're calling about a major appliance, press 1.
So you can see all your menu options before they're even spoken, which is absolutely insane. So I can hit this, and now I get even more menu options over here. And I feel like that kind of sums up what the Pixel brings to the table. Features like that, smart features that makes life a little bit easier. That call screening, so you can not have to deal with like telemarketers, stuff like that. I feel like it's pretty underrated. And Dom just said it, like we're getting actual phone features for a phone,
So
right? We're usually like, oh, what can the camera do? What can this process, whatever. What about the phone part of the phone? I'm glad Google's at least paying attention to that. Just don't forget to turn it on in the settings and you should be good. Okay. Turns out your boy has to go to Newark Municipal Court. It's great. Look at this guy. Getting ready to move out. Got some studio stuff in here. Dang, Carl, you got tech right there on the floor, bro. Come on, man.
I gotta put in.
You know how expensive that stuff is?
Oh, it didn't break. It broke in there. So you feel me? Nothing fell. The box just messed up.
Yo, anything broken coming out of your paycheck, bro.
Okay.
So I gotta go to court, Carl.
Really?
Yeah.
For what?
Call the DMV. Listen, man. I don't want to get too deep into it, but you got your boy going to court right now.
Now, I did have to make my way over to the DMV to get some stuff checked out with my license. Unfortunately, it was closed because of Columbus Day.
I guess I have to figure this part out tomorrow, which kind of sucks.
But we didn't waste the trip outside. Golden hour was hitting, so we had to mess around with the cameras for a bit and see how we like some of those new camera features.
Let's say we get an inanimate object like your phone.
Yeah.
How's that look?
I can see the artifacts around that. Good.
But is it looking better with me?
Yes.
Here's your phone. Can't be touching no iPhones right now. Oh, okay. So now we're gonna try that zoom. We got some bird subjects over here. Hopefully they stay long enough for me to try this. Well, nope. Okay, we got one right here. Boom. We got 5 times. We got 10 times zoom. Up, 30.
30 the max.
30 is the maximum. But what's impressive is that look how stable I look while taking the zoomed in shot. So this is 30 times zoom photo, you know, it's what you'd expect, honestly. But you can clearly see that, you know, I'm taking pictures of a bird. Jay, you ever been a model? No. Show that chest, man. Oh, and look, you can pick a better shot here. I think this is the top shot feature.
Oh, it's like a record a small clip.
And then it picks the best frame. This is the original shot, and this is the one that it's suggesting.
I see.
And you're kind of looking at the camera here, rather than it being down. All right, let's put you in a portrait mode real quick. Processing on the portrait mode takes a bit of a second, but not too bad. All right, this is a regular team in here. I mean, it's clean. One thing I noticed with pixel shots, it's very contrasty. And I personally like the look. It can be a lot sometimes. If it comes out, I feel like most of the shots come out with a style, the pixel style, which is like that super contrasty look. So a big feature that they've been talking about is the photo unblur. Jay, let's take a picture of you. And I want you to just move your head back a little bit really quickly.
Okay.
Go. Whoa, Jay, too fast? Too much. Well, let's try that again. Let's try again.
I'll slow it down.
All right. I don't want you to get hurt now. This was it unblurred already. Let's see how it was before. Okay, so it made it a little less blurry.
Yes.
That looks like you're just you're just part of it. All right, so now I kind of want to see what it looks like with an older picture. So we've got one with Austin here. Could have been a cute picture, but you know, he was in motion. So now let's try and edit this. Unblur. Okay, so it sharpened him up quite a bit. This is actually a bit more usable, I would say. If it was just like this absolutely great shot that you just really wish there was a better version of it, I can see this working.
And I have to say, overall, the camera on this phone is definitely an interesting one. It takes great photos, but it does have a very particular look that we've come to expect from Pixel phones, with lots of contrast and sharpness. And I've been able to get some pretty good looking shots out of it with features like super res zoom, since it captures and combines qualities between 2 lenses to get you something legit, and from my experience, it's worked out pretty well. Where things get a little bit iffy for me is with video. The quality you get here is decent, but I found that whenever I have 10-bit HDR on, the quality suffers a bit, even though we get a bit more on the dynamic range side of things. And the cinematic blur is nice in theory, but I honestly don't think I'd ever use it. It works pretty well around human subjects, but it looks weird around the outline of certain objects. And the lenses honestly have enough depth of field where you don't really need to worry about a feature like this. Over time, I'm sure it'll get better, but as of right now, we'll have to wait on that. There are some new features like photo unblur. It does its best work when it comes to slightly out of focus shots. Anything with massive blurs won't be magically fixed here, and you guys can see the results for yourself. It's an okay feature, but I don't think it's the game changer for photos that Magic Eraser is. I will say though, I think the fact that Google is working on a feature like this in general could lead to some really good things in future devices.
All right, guys, so we've got a ton of shots. I feel pretty confident about what we've learned about this camera. Now, I'm already late. I gotta get home to my kid and my family, and you guys too. So let's wrap it up.
Overall, I think this is a decent phone, and if you're coming from the Pixel 6 Pro, you'll definitely see some performance upgrades with the new Tensor chip. I personally was able to game on this phone without any stutters, which was a surprising problem for me last year, but it does feel like Google's new chip can handle a bit more this time around. We know this chip allows the phone to do some pretty unique things when it comes to transcriptions and allowing you to be able to read things that you're hearing from almost anywhere on the device. And I feel like that's what the Pixel strong suit is, being able to offer these unique smart features that I think are genuinely helpful to the everyday person. Now, I do think it's safe to say we gotta spend a bit more time with the phone to see how it holds up over time considering how things went last year, but I'll keep you guys posted on if things change on my end. Now, during the real day in the life, we ended up with a little less than 5 hours of screen on time, which was actually surprising considering how much we used the camera that day. But overall, I found that I got around the 5-hour mark each day, and it did last me to the end of the day without needing to charge it. Now, do I recommend this phone? I do think there are some nice qualities here, and you still get a pretty good camera if you're into the style that the Pixel produces, as well as some of the pretty unique features that we talked about earlier. But you guys let me know what you think. Does the Pixel offer enough things to have you interested in it? Definitely sound off in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, it's your average consumer. Peace.